Raiders, welcome back to Sam's Bikes, where you know we only talk e-bikes. And it's another week and another super light e-bike has hit the market. Today we are looking at the Focus Jam SL, coming in at 18 kilos, full carbon mainframe, 150, 160 suspension, rolling on 29 wheels, Fazua Ride 60 system with 60 newton meters of power and a 430 watt hour removable battery with an optional 210 watt hour range extender. The new Jam SL has a 4-way geometry change by the chainstay and the headset. Geometry in a large, we're looking at reach 485, head tube angle 64.5 or 65.5, seat tube angle 76.5, and a chainstay length of 440 or 447. The new Focus Jam SL is available in 4 sizes and 4 models, starting from 6,200 euros up until the top model, 11,500. So that's all the cliff notes of the new Jam SL. It's looking like a really nice bike. If you want to see more information, all the models, the specs, and pricing, weight, all that stuff, head over to samsbikes.net, the best, the first electric mountain bike finder on the internet, and check out all the details there. And also, you can compare the new Focus Jam SL to a couple of your other favorite SLs and just compare them side by side. So check it out, riders. And also, who is loving the Matt Hoffman t-shirt? A couple of days ago, I was having some beers with friends and we started talking about who is the overall best rider that has influenced your life. And for me, you got to do it, riders, put it in the comment. You got to think really fast. Don't analyze it too much. Just the first person that comes to mind. And for me, it's Matt Hoffman. When I was growing up, I got his first video Head On. I reckon I played that about 1,000 times on the TV. I loved it, downloaded all the music. He not only influenced the way I rode or the way I wanted to ride, the music I listened to, the clothes I wanted to wear. So massive influence, and you can't see here, it gives me goosebumps even thinking about it now. Matt Hoffman, absolute legend. Riders, you can buy this t-shirt for $25 in America, and it also comes with a signed postcard from Matt Hoffman. Now, on to my thoughts of the Focus Jam SL. So first up, we have to talk about it really. I think the new Focus Jam SL looks like a love child between the Levo SL and the Orbea Rise. Like, the Levo SL was first to market, amazing bike. Then the Rise came out like 18 months ago, an amazing bike as well. And now it looks like Focus has picked a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and pushed it together. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, if you think about it, the Levo SL and the Orbea Rise are fantastic bikes, standalone bikes. And I really like the look of the Jam SL. It could be my new favorite superlight e-bike. And I'm absolutely loving that Focus have gone 160, 150 suspension in this. Look, don't get me wrong, 150, 140 is a great trail bike. And that's what I've been riding on the Giant Trance E+. Had an absolute blast of a time. Love that bike. And you'll see a lot of the superlights are 150, 140. Now for me, I think that's a great trail bike, but 150, 160, I don't think you lose that much. I think you just gain a little bit more. That bike is more versatile, so you can take it to a bike park, but you can also go trail riding. And also the fact that it's 64.5 degree head tube angle at the front, or 65.5, I mean, it makes it a very versatile bike. The new Jam SL isn't the lightest superlight on the market, coming in at around 18 kilos. There's some lighter ones and there's some heavier models. But for me, I think that might be the sweet spot. Like when I ride my Kenevo SL, I don't really notice that's about 18.5 kilos with my Shorby tires on it. I don't really notice like that extra 1.5 kilos compared to my Levo SL. I think you really do notice the difference between 18 and let's say 23 or 24 kilos. But between 16 and 18 or 17 and 18, you don't really notice it. I'm really happy to see Focus using the new Ride 60 from Fazua in the Jam SL. The Ride 60 has 60 newton meters of power, a 430 watt hour battery, and you can also get that 210 watt range extender. Now, I think this could be the sweet spot in the superlight market. And last week I did a podcast with Tom and his experience on the Trek, link up here, on the Trek Fuel EXE with the TQ motor and the 50 Newton meters and the 360 watt hour battery. And he was getting sub 800 meters of vertical climbing. And then last week, Rob Rides, absolute legend, if you haven't seen his comparison between the Ride 60 and the TQ, check it out, link in the show notes. And Rob got the same sort of numbers. He got like 750, 800 with the TQ, but then he was saying he got around 1200 or 1300 meters with the Fazua Ride 60. So for me, I don't think the TQ would be enough range for me for my type of riding. I normally do 1000 or 1200 meters of climbing when I go for a ride. And I don't want to take a range extender like most of the time. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's a super light bike. And also I don't like to have a backpack. I like to put the water in the water bottle holder, what it's meant for, and just go out for my ride. So this could be the sweet spot. And it's not all gravy. The things I don't like about the Jam SL, you can't charge this bike without taking the battery out. And for me, it's not a deal breaker, but I would prefer if you could charge the battery. It just makes more sense. Like, I very, very rarely take the batteries out to charge them. And the ugly stem, I really don't like the look of this stem. It's flat. It has the cable routing going through like the front of it. I just don't like the look of it. You can take it off and use your own stem, I believe. For me, the new Fazua Ride 60 is a super interesting system. I think it would be nice if they had a digital display. Like 20% increments is nice, but I do like to see a digital display of what mode I'm in, how much battery range I have. That's about it. Maybe the cadence, maybe the power I'm getting from the motor and how much I'm putting into the motor. I mean, that would be nice. I'm sure they can do that in the future. And I'm not sure I like the toggle thing. I just like buttons. I think that's simpler. And this is a small thing. A couple of months ago, I traveled to Poland with my Kenevo SL without the battery and with a range extender, 160 watt hour range extender. And not everyone knows this, but you can actually travel with your superlight e-bike and two 160 watt hour range extenders. So as superlight bikes become more mainstream, I imagine the younger riders that are buying these bikes, or the older riders or whatever, probably will want to travel with these bikes more. So with the 210 watt hour range extender, you're not going to be able to travel and fly with that. So I kind of think Fazua probably should make a travel range extender of 160, because then you could travel with two and still ride on your holidays. So my final thoughts on the new Focus Jam SL. Is it a yay or a nay? I'm going to say it's definitely a yay. I really like what they've done here. 160, 150 to travel. You know, with that internal battery, it seems like you're going to get 1200 to 1300 meters of vertical climbing, which is definitely a bonus for one of these super light e-bikes. I love the four-way geometry change. Definitely makes this bike more versatile. So definitely, I say it's a thumbs up for me. And also, it's possibly one of my favorite super light e-bikes right now. And I might just order one. Next year, I'm going to Australia for 3 months in 2 weeks. But next year, I'm going to start putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to start buying these bikes because it is really hard to get these bikes. And the only way I can grow as a reviewer and as a YouTuber is just to put my money where my mouth is. So riders, if I was going to buy a Superlight right now to test, which one should it be? Put your comments down below, and I'm going to buy one next year, 100%. So riders, you stay safe out there, and we're going to see you next time.